Beetroot, nature's powerhouse. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried and finely ground to preserve their rich nutritional content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Here is Andrew Robinson, all the way in Switzerland. I'm reaching out for you're tuning into the Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the Pan African Bliss Show with your host, none other than
family and rising. You guys are doing amazing today. Ready for the day, for the weekend. The week has been fantastic. We'll sign up to another episode of the Pan African Bliss Show. Karibuni sana. Hope you guys are doing amazing today. Being a Friday, hope your week has been fantastic, and hope you're ready for the conversation as well, where we get to discuss matters coming from Africa, the people, and of course, creating a solution on every debate we have. This is critical with the jam Malikia. Malikia literally means an angel. For those who are still taking Swahili classes seriously, Malikia means an angel. Shout out to critical. Literally, he should. I don't know what really happened to him, but I saw he's back in the industry. Hope we're going to be receiving more bangers or better bangers even than this one. And of course, even to the most of the amazing artists. Karibuni, on today's conversation, shall be talking on and focusing on Mali. or rather the Alliance Sahel state. We've been seeing the Alliance Sahel state as a whole. These three nations, the people, or the demand from the people is actually these leaders or the juntas, according to the mainstream media, right? That these juntas actually should take over presidential seats. We've seen in Burkina Faso this happening. We have Ibrahim Traore literally right now as the president of Burkina Faso. We have, of course, in Niger. I can't. These two juntas literally have, or these two presidents from Mali and Niger really have had names. But we have, of course, also the Niger president was also taken over, and Mali. I'm not sure about Niger. They're supposed to actually completely take over, but in Mali we have Assam Goïta, who's completely now signed a new law, and of course this is him being into power for unlimited term. Something I want us to get deeper into, because I do believe right now people are very woke, and in case directions were to change after this law being signed, and I'm saying directions being changed to the point where probably someone getting comfortable and forgetting what they're supposed to be delivering to the people, and where they have to be kept checked, like we've been seeing what is happening in these other African countries. I just hope the same incident doesn't happen with Assam Goita, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, because unlimited term, I believe the demand should come more from the people. I understand the protection of the country, especially right now, because when it comes to security matters, it's something the West Africa is literally battling with and has been battling with for so long. But we need to be very careful. But that is what we shall be focusing on. We shall also talk about what is happening in Kenya. That is the conversation I want to come back with, where the Kenyan government did order a new round of vetting for, not venting, but vetting for all foreign nations. And this is from Burundi, Rwanda, and Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is because of the organ harvesting that has been on the rise. If you can remember, 2 months ago, I did a whole show when we were checking literally on how organ harvesting has been affecting, or rather has affected so many Kenyans, and not just affected, but they're not even paid well. So we shall be going deeper into that, because I had to check this last time when we got the news, it was only Kenya being reported. So why is it that Kenya wants the other countries to be conscious, or want them to go and take serious accountability about this serious matter? So, of course, I did check on that. We're talking about Burundi, Rwanda, because Kenya apparently is not doing this alone. I'll be sharing details on that, and you see how many youths are being taken advantage of. And sadly, they learned later that they were being used. And then along that, I have a video. Shout out to Joshua Maponga, who has spoken about how white people will come to Africa, do mass killings or genocide, but they still walk scot-free. None of them have been held accountable. And we're talking about none of them. We're talking about, first, from all the way to history, King Leopold of Belgium, who actually, till to date, this is not in the history books of evil people. That is what he was saying. And then I want us to go back to the now organ harvesting. Black people, you need to understand what white people mean. It is business. But last but not least, we want to talk about South Africa, where the rate of unemployment actually is very, very high. South Africa happens to be the highest to have the highest youth unemployment rate in the world. It's crazy, and it makes sense why they're so xenophobic, literally. So going back to the music a little bit, and of course we shall be coming back with much more details on this conversation, sharing some amazing organic supplements you can get on our website. So ensure you tune in and check this out. That's good. Yes, that is critical once again with Malikia playing right here on the media of the 21st century. Black Hotfire Network. And of course, like I promised, I have some amazing supplements you can get on our website. And of course, the only way you can get connected to our website is by you downloading our app. Black Hotfire Network is the name. We are on the Google Play Store. So if you are an Android device user, you have no excuse. Just 1 minute of your time, rush to the Google Play Store, search for Black Hotfire Network. The way I'm just saying it, words connected, no separation of the terms. Black Hotfire Network. You'll find us right there. And once you have the app, it's free of charge. Imagine you just stay connected to the internet. You'll be listening to us or all the shows from morning, from the Vibe shows to the Africa Today show. Literally, all day we have amazing conversations and music back to back. You can listen to the radio segment in case you're not able to stream live on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, but also through the app. The funny thing or the most amazing thing, you can also get to be connected on all these platforms. Through the application, you get to be connected on YouTube, on Rumble, on Odyssey, on BitChute, everywhere. And you get to actually catch the shows on replay. Also, we have an active show page where actually if you have a TV or if you're able to download our app on your TV, that is for those who have Amazon, Roku, you can find us right there. And of course, catch the show on the show page, on a replay, all the shows. We have an active social page as well. We can share amazing articles, conversation, news and updates that have not yet landed to our table. So with that, I hope you enjoy the Black Hotfire Network service. But for now, let's bring and
unlock your
right
full
here.
potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just 1 capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Of course, we have other more amazing supplements, so ensure you check them out. All organic. We have literally other amazing supplements as well. So ensure, in case you're facing any problem with your order, email us at kcnewsam15@gmail.com and you'll be answered. Literally, in case you're facing any issues with the purchase or after the purchase. But as we start with today's conversation, I want to start with what is happening in Kenya. Like I said, that was 2 months ago. Kenya was caught in the story again, or was in the highlight because of organ harvesting, and this was actually in May. Excuse me. This was actually in May, where they said, I want to read one of the articles. Of course, with them, everything is always a conspiracy theories. It's always an alleged and everything. But this is some a report or an article I'm reading from the Business and Human Rights Resource Center, which, of course, when you talk about human rights, we know it's something to be questioning or questionable, especially when it comes to Africa, but I don't want to get into that today. The same Kenyans workers allegedly subjected to illegal organ harvesting amid lack of protection of workers' consent over their bodies reports. These were reports. So I want to read where this was coming from. This was in April 2025. Migrant Rights Organization released a report describing allegations of organ trade and illegal harvesting in the Gulf Cooperation Council. So I didn't know even about this. So crazy thing. This is new now on my table. All right. Last 2 months ago in May, we were talking about how this was very active in Kenya, but we didn't know this was happening also in the UAE. So our Kenyans are being taken to the UAE to be organ harvested. So let's pause on that. They're also talking about the report says Kenyans migrants are returning from the Gulf states with suspicious scars that may indicate organ harvesting. Organ harvesting may be enabled by continued use of kafala sponsorship system and lack of protection for migrants' consent over their bodies. And the report also emphasizes the routine post-mortems are not conducted in the GCC, and deaths of young individuals are frequently attributed to natural cases or cardiac arrest. Wow. Just super wow. I didn't know this information. This is new. This is just one of the articles I pulled regarding organ harvesting this year. But this has been happening also in the Gulf. I'm not shocked because we've seen how our people are being treated, but it's also shocking because none of this information is being reported by the mainstream media again. None of it. We're talking about also Kenyan women coming back from the UAE with HIV and AIDS. We're talking about our women going there, sleeping with dogs, breastfeeding dogs, and someone says it's our backward culture and behavior that makes us to be treated like this. This is so insane. The report described several cases of potential organ harvesting. For example, in one case, Kenyan migrant died shortly after returning home from Saudi Arabia with a missing kidney. The worker attended several medical centers while in Saudi Arabia, including Al Falah Hospital, King Saudi Medical, Al Noon Medical Complex, and Safa Makkah Polyclinic Diagnostic Center. As the evidence by receipts, and she was told she attended the hospitals due to stomach, intestines, and esophagus issues. Yet, allegedly, no medical documents show relevant treatment. The reports also include a section describing the monetization of trauma on social media. And it says, while influencers on social media platforms, including TikTok and YouTube, part of Google, raise funds for victims, there is no accounting for how much is being collected and how much reaches these families. The report also describes potential organ trade in Kenya. It says an investigation by the EU-funded project ENACT says private hospitals in Eldoret may be facilitating illicit organ harvesting, which is the video I'm about to share. And the Kenyan Renal Association said activists at Medihill hospitals have raised serious ethical concerns, including exploitation of vulnerable donors from local communities. This is so crazy. And of course, this is where we talk about lack of education is very, very bad. Our people are being taken advantage of because they're not even educated about something called the melanin. Why organs, how it is beneficial to other people. This is why this is happening. This is why this is on the rise. And this is because of also lack of job opportunities, where people need money so desperately, they're willing to do anything. And because they give you promises. Because like the videos I shared 2 months ago, we saw Kenyans saying they were giving you promises of how they're going to pay you huge amounts of money. But at the end of the day, you come discover you're actually being used. These people who lie to you, you can't trace them. Their numbers are blocked. But it's even more sad because there's you doing this willingly, you're going to sell your kidney willingly because you're trying to solve your problems. Again, understanding this is because of lack of job opportunities, but there's you being taken advantage of. And this is what is happening in Saudi Arabia right now, in the Gulf Cooperation Council. Young women and men are being taken advantage of, being sliced, and then they come back and die here. And yet all the medical centers in these countries cannot even give. This is just super crazy. We're not protected by our nations, but sadly other people and other races, when it comes to your nation, they're protected. It is so crazy and so sad. But before I get to share that, the video itself, let me read this article as I welcome Keith. They're saying that the Kenyan government has ordered a new round of vetting for all foreign nations from Burundi, Rwanda, and Democratic Republic of Congo. And Uganda's Wagisu community residing in West Pokot amid suspicions of involvement into cannibalism and organ harvesting. I don't believe it's actually anything to do with cannibalism because this is not a case common amongst Africans. So they're trying to use other terms to make it seem like it's Africans killing each other or slicing each other for their own benefit. No, this is Africans being fooled to give up what is valuable because they have not been given what is valuable, a way of making a living, and which is very, very important. Karibu sana Keith, how are you doing today?
Santi Sana, Joby, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Waking my ass up. Shit.
Well, Karibu sana. We're talking about organ harvesting. Remember 2 months ago, I was talking about this case that was happening in Kenya, where we saw in Kenya this has been a case on the rise, but apparently we see Kenya actually urging other East African countries to also check and take accountability on the matter because the cases are now on the rise, where young people are dying because of course, lacking proper medical care and treatment after these
So what
surgeries
happens, exactly what
conducted.
you were saying, what happens in Kenya, Kenya is Africa's undefended. You have leaders that don't care. It's underdeveloped, so you don't have proper medical systems in Africa itself, except for South Africa. You don't have
Yep.
any. You don't have functional medical systems because the morons never built them. So since Africans are kept ignorant, they don't understand and ignorant and impoverished, so it makes it easy for the rest of the world to prey on them. They don't know that them being Africans that their organs are better than anybody else's organs because first they've been told to hate themselves, and then
Yes.
they've been put in poverty, which makes people desperate. So that's why Africa is the perfect feeding ground on all ills. I don't care
Mhm.
what is prostitution, child sex trafficking, organized. There's no protection there because the ignorance, the underdevelopment, and it just that's what I say. It's scary to be an African if you're stupid because
Yep.
you're being preyed on by predators, and no
Yep.
one's there to protect you. That's how the whole continent is set up.
Mm-hmm. I
Go
agree
ahead,
with you.
Joby.
They know and they come using this notion of you are desperate. I know you don't have a job. Your government has failed to help you. But there's an easy
Yeah,
day, you know. Just give up one of your kidneys. You need to help someone who's sick somewhere. They die help of this, and you're healthy. You can survive with one kidney. Of course, they're gonna lie to you, but they're not telling you after the surgery you need proper medical care because
exactly.
most of these people are going to find they're using these funds to probably treat now themselves again. Yes, you've been paid, but you have to go back now. Still, use the same money to treat yourself.
Treat
Like,
yourself exactly, and you don't
what?
have the facilities in Africa because you're underdeveloped. You don't have the facilities to treat that in Africa, so you die.
Mm-hmm. So let me share this video right here. This is one of the videos that was circulated 2 months ago, and apparently this is just a few weeks ago that this is still happening, and it's crazy. Like you said, it's sad being in Africa and not being, I'd say, educated, and of course being ignorant.
Of course.
You'll be an easy target because if you look at most of the young men on the next video I'm gonna share, you look at their faces, they're even pitying themselves. It's like someone is regretting the decision they made because you come discover someone has used you for a big chunk of money that you could have benefited from. Because the same thing with the gold, the cobalt, the silver, our minerals, people are earning $2 while white people are making billions and billions of dollars out of this.
Yeah,
You're
yeah, the
there
ignorance.
sweating your whole life, your all lungs, earning muscles for free, trying to help make a white man smile while you're trying to make yourself smile for only $2.
two
It's
dollars for things that
very
two
unfair.
$2 for things that are worth millions of dollars. The
It's
ignorance
crazy.
in Africa is crazy.
It's crazy, man. Let me share this as we continue.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us on the program tonight. Now, Nandi Hills Member of Parliament Bernard Kitur has alleged the existence of an international organ trafficking syndicate with roots in Kenya, which has been carrying out illegal organ transplants. As Emmanuel Tor now reports, the MP says the network goes beyond the Medihill group of hospitals, which has been linked to the illegal trade in the North Rift region.
A very tight web.
It is an intricate, organized international organ trafficking syndicate which has roped in more hospitals than those implicated in the illicit organ trafficking linked to the Medihill group of hospitals. This is according to the Nandi Hills MP, Bernard Kitur, the MP who appeared before the National Assembly Health Committee to adduce evidence on the organ trafficking probe, which began Thursday for the next 90 days, detailing the network of well-connected organ traffickers in Kenya and beyond.
Particular countries noted this, that there was an international.
And you can also imagine, I was trying to also think about this when I was doing my research, because we have the young youths who have been shot, dead, of course, during this protest.
Exactly. And get those organs.
And we know most of our parents, again, they're not also this much educated to, like do a survey on the body of your child, like probably after they come back from the morgue, just look at the body and see if something is missing or something is up. Most of our people actually are scared of the cops. They can't even get near a cops. They can't. So you can imagine this probably is even on the rise, because the more youths who are being shot, because you can see now Ruto is doing it carelessly. Do it on the stomach. Do it
remember,
on the leg.
Remember what were they doing on the on the Squid Games, Joby?
Oh yeah.
Organ harvesting.
Watching people die for their own benefit, which is the big business is organ harvesting.
Yeah, they watch them die, but they make sure some stay alive, so their organs. So that's why they're back there organ harvesting. But their organs, are not black people's organs, which are the best because they're melanated. It's a completely different thing.
Racket of illegal organ harvesting.
The legislator telling the health committee that the network had affluent patients flocking into Kenya from Israel, Germany, Uganda, and Sudan to pick the organs and flying back. Kitur saying the syndicate has been active for years.
The major place for organ harvesting is not real. Oh, these people again. Imagine that. And that's the major hub, and that's a fact.
Preying on vulnerable patients and exploiting regulatory loopholes.
Those families that are being targeted for boys to be lured are those that came from families that have some particular social structure, particularly those of they that are single.
He's in a social structure. Just be honest, say poor and ignorant. You know what the hell it is.
Not have people probably to fight for them. There are brokers who came.
The people to fight for them are you. You're comfortable in your suit and red tie. You're an MP there. What is an MP supposed to also play a role in the community? What are you doing to help your people? Nothing. Apart from just looking good in the suit. That's it.
And the young men are in the shopping centers relaxing in one of the evenings. And they told them there is an easy way you can make money.
The legislator adding that both the donors and the recipients were given new identities to dodge security agencies.
The ID for Amon Kipruto Meli was taken away, and it was developed for an alien ID.
He can give us, but not publicly in camera, where the list came from.
The MP now asking for more security, saying his life was in danger.
Yesterday at 11:30, my vehicle around Brookside, which had some of my officers in there, was blocked. They tracked my vehicle around Eldoret and they cornered them near Brookside. The vehicle was a DCI vehicle.
The first-time lawmaker has called for full compensation.
And I believe him, because your country's criminality, moron. You live in a criminal. Kenya is a criminal syndicate like all African nations. They're not countries, they're criminal syndicates.
That is literally, and I'd say they have all failed too, as much as to the point where I don't believe none of these people that much, especially someone coming on the mainstream media trying to tell us, nah, Please, you can also use that as a defense mechanism to make us think like, for real, you're much deep invested in this case and you're trying to bring us justice. But we know at the end of the day, the doors of justice are going to be closed. And that case is going to be thrown somewhere on the sewage, and those papers and documents literally are going to disappear. The same thing I'm just reading, right? Because I'm just reading an article. If our system was really a working system, if really investigations are being done, again, I'm reading this article. Like I said, none of this did I see on the mainstream media, just doing my research, and I bumped into this. It says, in April 2025, Migrants' Rights Organization released a report describing allegations of organ trade and illegal harvesting in the Gulf Cooperation Council. Gulf, you can imagine, and the talk, these officials talk, you can remember what they said. It is our fault, our backward behaviors and culture that makes us be treated the way we're treated, feeding dogs and sleeping with snakes and being called a baby and all those type of that is okay. It is our backward culture, and we're supposed to change our culture. We're supposed to change the way we carry ourselves. That is what he said.
Yeah, but they're saying, they're saying that most Africans, you're disrespected because you're stupid. You're kind and loving. You love everybody. Everybody treats you like shit. You allow people to treat you like shit. You smile in everybody's face when it's inappropriate. Just like you got some of the Tanzania. We don't want to fight. We want to be peaceful. You don't want to fight for nothing. So told you, power doesn't respect weakness. Everybody in the world sees African people as weak and stupid. So they prey upon them. So you're in a world where the energy is energy. The big functions on the small. You have to align. Energy is energy. So energy is energy. So you have to understand. The African still has an understanding. Energies. You gotta match people. You gotta match people's energy. They're there to hurt you. They're not nobody's your friend. And sadly enough, you hate other Africans with your goopy tribal nonsense, but you love everybody else who hate your ass. I mean, hate you, hate us. You haven't learned that. For some reason, the majority of Africans still haven't learned that. That makes you pray.
We go back to the system of education.
That's true.
We have to be lenient a little bit because it's the way for us we've been learning why our parents failed to do some things. That understanding is coming into being because you look at the history, you understand, hey, this is something that was forcefully passed to generations and they had to accept it. And due to lack of knowledge, due to lack of, true also system of education, and also the loss of cultures and tradition, that is also another big part that made Africans become this dumbed down. Because I believe if cultures and traditions still stuck, would have tried to figure out a way of going back to the true African being. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I do believe because of the system of education, generations who are taught the same pain, trauma being passed. Right now, it's being dissolved. We can see the matrix, the illusion is disappearing, but it's not like we really get there. But sadly, majority of us it's about the system of this. It's about the system of disrespect, Joe. So exactly. So go ahead. We've also spoken deeper and we've shared also videos. I don't know which video I saw. It was someone talking about politics. The same notion, the same mentality that has been passed from generation. Politics is none of my business. I saw a video, someone talking like that, and it really made me so mad. And I'm like, this is so crazy because you're one among the youths we should be counting to be on the majority of the side, fighting for what is right and what you really want. But it's sad because of the same knowledge, same comfortability of sitting in poverty and not fighting for what is right for you because you don't understand it is also right for you to fight for it. This is just so deep. The indoctrination of Africans, and it's globally because we see it also in Black Americans. I love the fact that right now to internet, I'm gonna be able to see literally also how some Black American women and men reason, and it's just so crazy.
Globally, of course.
So the awakening is there, but sad part, and again, the system, the way it was set up, is what has oppressed people so much to think that there's no hope for change. And if there's hope, it's just a few get to penetrate that path and become successful. Africans, we've talked about this, Africans have become comfortable in poverty. Not everyone, but majority.
The majority, not everyone, Joe. Of course, not going to be everyone. There's some Africans who will go. There's some Africans in Africa who refuse to live in poverty, and then everywhere else. Like, I'm not living like this. Are you crazy?
It's crazy. And this is, I want to share this video of Joshua Maponga, who's talking about the same situation, and not even just looking at it, because lack of history is again something that has made us not understand why should what if you talk about, it's like you go approach someone like, just approach a church Negro, okay? Tell them, but you tell them the history facts of what it is, what we keep on talking about today. Why people did this. You should not be friends with white people and everything. And then try to make them understand from history. They're not going to understand anything, because from the word go, history has not been taught the right way. And a good example is of what he wants to talk about, what took place back then in Congo, the genocide of 20 million people, the genocide of Africans, literally globally, during slave. In Africa itself, those who are killed, tortured, like, the fact that that history misses, and the fact that we don't see and we've not observed justice, is the main reason why I believe Africans also, most of them, fail to accept that we're not really supposed to be connected or have that sort of relationship with this other race. I don't know if I'm making sense, but I believe I am. Let me share what he's saying, just to connect the dots with the organ harvesting, because it's the same. You're not going to see justice when it comes to Africans, ever. We witness it. We've been talking about it, okay? And we understood justice literally is about power. It's all about power. It's all about literally the man who calls the shots. This is not about you who doesn't understand power. Justice works according to those who are in hold of power. But connecting the two dots, let me just share the video and then I explain further.
White people. He's the most evil man that ever lived.
That is not taught. So come to my education, Keith. We told white people are your saviors. White people are, they came to civilize you. They brought you civilization. They came to teach you how to read and write. I'm not taught a white man is evil. That is not in part of my history. And then when you talk about history, if only so much knowledge was kept to the point where we could pass those written informations on the wall when Africans knew what was coming to happen. Okay? If only this information was kept and passed to generations, imagine how much we'd literally know in terms of, imagine how much knowledge we'd literally have. I don't know if, but just reading from understanding that Africans who are powerful, we are the beginning of everything, and we knew what was to come before even it happened, because that was such an interesting topic. We did like 8 episodes of understanding where white men came from. If you've not checked it out, it's still running on our show page. Kindly ensure you check it out. It's so much to learn from. Black people knew, it's like they were prophesying what was to come before it even happened. And it happened. So imagine if we knew that knowledge today, that we had the capability to prophesy what was to happen before it happened, and then pass this knowledge because it has happened in real time. African prophesied it, it happened, it's still happening, and then knowing what we know today. We'd have so much power, but that's not what they want.
Leopold kills 20 million Africans. He still does not appear on the list of the most wicked people that ever lived on the earth.
Exactly.
There must be something wrong with this narrative. Totally something wrong with that narrative. It can be right by day, by night, by numbers, by mathematics, by ethnography. It cannot be right.
Exactly.
That the whole world watches the massacre of black people and says nothing.
Exactly. I love that point. It's crazy because the whole world watches the massacre of black people, and they don't talk anything about it. And this is why I loved what you were sharing when we had the Latinos and the Latinos and whatever who are saying black people need to come help us, and all that. I love that lady who came boldly and said, "We've never helped black people in anything. We've watched them suffer, and that needs to get into majority of their head, and it should start to get into our head. The massacre, the killing of black people is still very active today. I don't know.
Of course.
We expect to see numbers, tens, hundreds of people dying so we can believe that the genocide of black people is still there, but it's still there. Even one person.
Joby, people know it's there. They know.
Kid. You keep on telling me not everyone knows what I know. So how many know out there?
I'm saying people know the genocide of black people are happening. They know that. They know that.
I'm sure everyone knows. That's what I'm trying to ask you.
Other people know that black people get murdered, Joby. They don't give a shit because Asian people, white people, Indian people.
I'm talking about black people, to be specific right here, especially the majority.
Black people don't know they get killed. They don't. If black people don't know that they be murdered, then that the ignorance is even more crazy than I thought. They don't know that. All right, go ahead.
That's the angle I'm looking at it from, because
all right.
I don't know, black people, I feel like, I don't know, maybe recently I've been seeing Kenya, right? Killing of one person is making people super angry. You just touch one of us, that's it. It's over. We're getting crazy on you. We've been seeing that with the police officers. Right now, if police officers actually do anything on the public, they're getting beaten. Their cars are being...
There you go. Finally, you remember you're actually giving the proper response to abuse, Joby. That problem is that Africans are never getting the proper response to abuse to other people, whether it be your own people, especially other people. You've allowed abuse, like you said, just like you said with the president, disrespect in their face.
Yep.
In their face. Trump did it. This white man told these morons, but I don't even really got time. He brought him over so he could disrespect them. Hey, I only got time. You guys hurry up, because I only got time for you. Well, you invited us from all the way over here to have a meeting. Then tell us, you guys hurry up, because I got other things I got to do.
It's crazy, but I do love what.
Go ahead, Joe.
I do love what Joshua Maponga was saying there, because there is no justice in all the history until today. You'll not see a white man being hanged, being lynched.
No.
You'll not see a white man behind the bars.
Because that wasn't your nature. Do you see black people thinking about hanging and killing people? No. But you got to start matching energy. You have to start matching energy.
That is true. I do agree with you. But speaking of actually African presidents being disrespected, of course, I was to share something on that. There's this lady talking about it she's saying exactly what you've been saying. There's a man, I've seen his video saying African leaders are always treated like kids. It's true.
Yeah, I told you that. You put on a bus, you're disrespecting, because they saying, exactly. I don't respect you. You're cowardly. You're weak. You're stupid. You're asking me how deep can I put my penis in your mouth? I'm going to put it all the way down your throat.
We won't see it because, again, like I said, I remember there's a video of Kagame I shared some time back, and Kagame said it very openly about how these puppets love to fail, okay? Love their positions. Kagame said it. They love their positions, him being one of them.
Exactly.
They love them. That's why they can't give they'd rather put in a system of nepotism, corruption, tribalism, so that everything can work because they love their position. Then
exactly. Let me say something, Joe. I mean, interrupt you. So that's what Kwame Nkrumah said 60 years ago. He said, we must unite before you get used to your positions coming from poverty of being presidents. You'll never want to unite and give up your privileges, talking about uniting, because you're not going to want to do that now. You're not going to want to do it.
Well, I also said these African leaders feel so much privilege and they love to brag about it. They love to brag about. They love being near white people. They
Yes.
love being bootlegs.
Yeah.
Remember this video? He said they love being bootlegs. They love being, feeling important, especially if they're standing near Trump or Joe Biden. They come back, now in Africa, they tell you, do you know how deep connected I am in politics?
Because that's the mind of a moron. He hasn't accomplished nothing. So you more concerned that you stand next to white people. They're still colonized in the head. That's the house Negro mentality. These are house Negroes, Joby. So that's why they're so mad about even Teray breaking out a house Negro. I don't need no white people to feel good. I'm African. All the money's with me. I'm taking back what belongs to us, and we're gonna build. I don't bootlick nobody white. I go back and know my own history, like he's telling people. We had colleges and hospitals for white people. That's what he's telling you. These are facts. What am I like bootlicking somebody I taught?
Exactly. It's crazy, but let me share this video very quickly.
Let's listen to Cupcake.
Cupcake.
Have you observed that our
Who's
African
Cupcake?
presidents...
That's Ramaphosa, right?
Oh yeah, Ramaphosa is Cupcake.
Yeah, they disrespect him. Mr. President, I told you, and that's why you get no respect globally. And Joby's right about that. That's why they treat the leaders make it even worse for the Africans who leave the continent, because they are a reflection of you. This weak, crazy people talk to them crazy.
Respected by their Western counterparts. Oh yes. On many occasions, they are not given the presidential respect accorded to other presidents from other parts of the world. A typical example was during the funeral of the late Queen of England. They were all put on a bus like school children and were okay. But that didn't happen to other presidents, not even to other celebrities of the world. But why does this keep happening to us? Let's listen to Cupcake. Cupcake is President Cyril Ramaphosa. Just listen to
I also got some calls from Europe. And the calls were so paternalistic. They were saying, hello, President.
Look how wiki sound. And I want you to see I want you to see it with the comment. I tell you, make these Negroes speak up when they're in the goddamn studio, sound like men. Africans always whisper, always weak and shit. That's what he sounded like. I got some calls from Europe, and they were paternalistic. Because you sound weak, moron. You're weak. And they love disrespecting you in your face. They love it. Go ahead, Joe.
This Omicron, I am sorry to tell you that we are banning travel to Europe from South Africa and Southern Africa. No discussion, no attempt to hear what our views are. And I'm saying that the relationship...
You didn't make your views known. You have to cry. I didn't know things for my views. Why? Man. You sound weak right there. No thing. If you was with Trump, you say, hey, Trump, who are you talking to? Who you talking crazy to? There's no genocide. You see all these people, they own all our land. They stole it. Your people came in and stole it. And that's his lineage, the Germans and the Dutch. That's Trump's actual lineage. Your people invaded my lands and stole my land. They're there today. So all this nonsense you're talking, you better talk this shit to somebody else. That was supposed to be your proper response. But no, I'm too weak and goofy. And you're always weak and goofy. That's why you must build real military, because you look crazy on the scene. That's why you get treated like children. You treat like children because you act like children. And nobody gonna talk to me crazy in my face about Joe and them gladly enough hand of that white man that was talking to him crazy in Tanzania a couple years ago. Don't let nobody talk crazy you in your face. But you as a president, you showed you were weak and cowardly.
That's what I was saying yesterday. It sounds crazy, but I don't mind it sounding crazy. I admire Trump's brutality because
of course, that's power. Power respects power.
Yeah, he's showing me literally, I'm the boss around here. Like, you better
exactly. That's what exactly.
You better act like, and I was saying it's really important, literally understanding that and standing on that ground. But none of these African puppets have done that apart from Ibrahim Traore. Like, you're gonna earn the respect from me. You know, you're gonna have to look for it. You've been disrespected
That's right.
for long. Now it's time for you to beg for it. Because for
That's
so
what
long,
that's what you're supposed to do, Joe. That's why they want. That's why these bootlegs are all upset. Even all these African niggas are all upset with Ibram because he's not a bootleg. He's not a coward. He's not a suck ass. He's not getting on nobody's bus. He's not allowing nobody to disrespect him and play in his face. You see how he was greeted in Russia? They had a plane come pick him up. You see how everybody, how he walked through the red carpet, everybody saluting him. His treatment completely different than these puppet ass Negroes going to America. Because power respects power.
exactly.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful. Are you out your mind? Go ahead.
We need to respect one another.
African
presidents respected me as we respect one another. But from Europe, I just got a message of saying, we've banned travel. Thank you. Goodbye. See you next time. That's not the way to conduct relationships.
He said, that's not the way to conduct a relationship. How long you been dealing with the Europeans, moron? 500 years now, and that's what they always been doing. So what? He still sounds stupid. That's not the way to conduct a business in a relationship. You sound crazy as cat shit.
There needs to be consensus. There needs to be
There
discussion.
should be consensus and discussion.
Yep. Unfortunately, the plea of the South African president may not change a thing. It may not change a thing because our presidents have made themselves too available. They are always
Available
jumping from one expensive flight to the other, traveling to people's countries. But that is not the way it's supposed to be. Create some absence. Let people feel your absence.
Exactly.
Let people feel your absence.
Not your absence, make them feel your power. You, lady, you can be absent all day long. You haven't gained respect. You're absent. You act like this is some kind of dating shit when you with your significant other. Lady, power doesn't work like a relationship with you and your woman. Yeah, absence that works when you got a relationship with a woman or a man. This is geopolitical power. You stay gone don't mean nothing to me. I don't care if you stay gone or not. But when I call you, you will come because I'm the power. And if you don't, I'll tell you I'll bomb the shit out your ass. You'll get your ass up on that plane and you'll come. You know, it ain't got to do because you've been absent from me. I don't care nothing about that.
A country of 54, 54 will be summoned to a small country in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, they summoned.
It's so pathetic. Almost every country in the world is organizing a summit for Africa.
Yeah, because you got the money, stupid.
And
you got the wealth.
They usually start with that country's name. Italian African Summit.
Exactly.
Korean African Summit.
Exactly.
So
don't that.
Every country is organizing a summit for Africa. And the sad part is our Africa.
And if Africa organizes a summit, it's still them who are coming to actually have their say here. It's like we saw last time in Kenya. We had Africa Climate Summit, but being held where in Kenya. So it's not your summit; it's still their summit.
It's about power. Till you gain power, till you do an Interim President Assimi Goïta and Tiani, you're gonna get disrespect. Till you ask for, demand your respect, Joby, and gain power. You only meet power with power, and the European only understands power, Joby. They're wicked, and they're wicked by nature. That's not the way to control a relationship. They're laughing in you. They doubled down on their wickedness. They said, "Listen, we crossing your weak ass out of here. Get out of here."
One thing about them is to do with power, declaring power, because they're about control. You know,
control leaders
but you can't control people without power.
Travel to one small country. Do you know how dangerous it is? God forbid, if something happens, you know how many presidents we will lose at a time or at a go?
Good, who cares?
Make your absence felt. I mean, don't be too available to people.
She's still talking about some African nonsense. That means nothing, lady. That means absolutely nothing. You sound stupid. See, and she still don't get it. Make your absence known. They don't care about your absence, moron. Don't care about you being absent. Go ahead, Joe.
It's the fact Africans are starting to also. I love the fact because when I was doing this research, you see Africans who are reacting to this, they're understanding the disrespect of our leaders has always been there.
Exactly. Exactly.
They couldn't share. I can't find it right now. I couldn't share on Instagram, then share it on my screen. But if you can remember the audio of the guy, he said, "This is why we're disrespected because these weakest leaders have always been bootlegs. Everyone they're always begging to fit in, you know."
But you said, you understood that. You said that years ago, Joby. So you understood that.
But let me share this one, the last one as
well. I watched that whole scene and I felt secondhand embarrassment. And somehow we understand this is exactly why we're where we are today. When the people leading us show up in rooms like that, so desperate to be accepted, so eager to impress instead of command respect. Well, but think about it. How can anyone take Africa seriously if even our leaders want to demand respect? Unless it's someone like Ibrahim Traore who won't accept to be treated that way. And the same scene on.
I'm not going to take disrespect in my face, and I'm the one funding the world. Are you insane? And that's what they do. Oh, white daddy. Oh, white daddy. Do you want me to turn around? You want to put your penis in my butt? Here you go. Oh, white daddy. It's so embarrassing, Joe.
It makes sense why they want these old Negroes, because these old Negroes also have the same traumas of history and lies of history. They don't have true education. Not like the current generation. The current generation, again, we're living in a world, number one. We have smartphones. We have internet. We have access to what you can't, even dark web. People are no longer scared to go to dark web. I am still, but, I think I've seen so much evil already. I can't imagine what is on dark web. Like, it's crazy. So, like, we're no longer living in that generation, and it makes sense why they don't want the young people in power, because the young people know so much. This older generation is a generation that, again, comes from the same trauma, comes from the same system of.
You figured it out? Yes, Joby.
They don't know history. They were told the white man is your Jesus, and you shouldn't disrespect the white man.
Now you get it. Yes, Joby. Yes.
That's the same image we've grown up with. When you look at a white man, why do you think people always smiling at Africans smiling at white men? Because the version of Jesus is white. Like the fact that the person you worship is white, and you've been made to fear religion so bad. Like the fear of religion, you guys, the fear of religion is super deep. Like
I know.
People would not wear trousers. My stepmom is one of that idiot type of a person. So there was a time she was facing me, telling me, "You can't be wearing trousers. You need to be covering your neck so that you know." You do that shit. I don't want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why you rejected it, because your spirit knew this lady, you're crazy as cat shit. Get out of here.
Our famous prophet, right? The one who used the Blueprint Project to show us, and they went crazy. She was one of the people who went crazy. And she came back. She's now like, we've been told we cannot be showing our necks. That is sin. We can't show our hands.
We must be covered up from head to toe in a bag. This is, how messed up the mind is. How fucked up your mind is. Your mind is effed up.
It's like, and then yesterday in the morning I was going to get breakfast, and I saw this woman. It was super cold in the morning. I'm like, why are these women dressed in skirts? Then something hits my head. I'm like, these are the religious nuts. They don't believe in wearing trousers. This, you can't tell them, even if it's cold, wear a trouser. They can't. They'd rather shiver on a skirt. I'm like, hell no, I'm not doing this. It's so crazy. So yeah, she has a point, literally. It's crazy.
A different day. Every time African leaders go sit across Trump specifically, there's this weird dynamic. And moments like this show that there are symptoms of deeper problems of how we have been conditioned to show up in global spaces, of what our leaders prioritize as well.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't hear this one, but I'm gonna share the last one probably on that, and then we get to wind up. Let me see.
Y'all know how they be like, we're all black. They don't even believe in that in Africa. Check this out.
I don't know what this is all about, but yeah, the disrespect of African leaders has always been there. Like, and the fact that right now your people are seeing it, we're no longer gonna keep on accepting this. Every time I want to go somewhere in Florida, a white man is gonna be talking crazy to me, asking me, "What are you doing in this, this neighborhood?" What? Excuse me, like, what? Because I'm black. Because I'm black. You think I'm
matter. When you, no matter where you are, when you're black, there's always some white person all up in your business.
We need to set up a very strict law. Actually, another law that I believe Ibrahim should pass if his people are going, and this should include the Alliance Sahel state, right? If his people are anywhere in America, their rights are protected, and literally there will be consequences of anyone who attacks their people, because we've been seeing when I'm talking about this is like the example of the first article I was reading, where we're seeing the black men and young women coming back from Saudi Arabia with one of their kidneys missing, and then they can't report to our government, and it's doing nothing. You should be protected no matter where you are. You should feel protected. So I believe Ibrahim Traore should actually come with a very serious, strict law of where he says, yo, my people, no matter where they are, you try do something to them, but there's serious consequences about it, and mean it. Put an action and an example to it. Put a good example into it. Don't let anyone come exploiting, talking crazy to your people. There should be a consequence. You attacking a Burkinabe, if they're in your country, the consequences. Your law is gonna make you fall. Your country. I don't know how it's gonna work, but there should be consequences, because the disrespect of Africans has been long tolerated. Long tolerated. It's crazy. But as we speak about the Alliance Sahel state, as we come to the end of today's show, as I share one more video of showing you literally how we have incompetent leaders, literally, like, who are not willing to try, even do anything to show that they're really, this is crazy and backward thinking. And then we're talking about the religious nuts and mindset. But before we get into that, we have the Mali president who has signed a new law allowing him to stay in power for unlimited term. Well, this is really, really good, because I love the fact that people are saying, as long as it's there to serve the interest of the people and bring development and cast Western dependency, let him be president forever. That is all we want to see. I also support that very, very fully 100%. If he's there,
no, they told him no. He signed the agreement. If he does something that people don't like, they got the right to say no. We want you to leave, and he'll step down.
Exactly. That is exactly also what the comment section of the same is saying. So long as he's there to serve the interest of the people and bring development and cut Western dependency, let him be president forever, because who wouldn't want such kind of leadership? That is what Africans have been long for. And the fact that he's being chosen by the people, this is the real election. This is the true democratic election. The rest are BS. The rest are just banana republic countries set up, and they're claiming, they're heavy on talking about democracy, how they believe and obey democracy. Why isn't Museveni obeying democracy? That is dictatorship. That is not democracy. He should call himself out. Kagame, he talks about democracy. That is not democracy. You lead in a country for literally 2, 4, 5 decades. And you're okay with that? You're telling us how we're not using our resources well, how we failed to do what and what. Please, get out of our faces. But the last comment, 2, 3 comments I'm going to read on this. Share the last video of the day. Someone else says, even though he's doing a remarkable job in the country, he should not sign such a law. If the people wish to re-elect him in the next election, they should be free to do so. But he should not be permitted to hold power indefinitely. The human heart is deceitful, and if he is indeed performing well president, why does he feel insecure and fearful about whether the citizens will choose him again in the next election? I don't think it's a matter of insecurity. I believe actually it's a matter of security, if I look at it deeper personally, because we know the Alliance Sahel state has been trying as much as they can to strengthen their military, their military group, literally their military, and by also trying to ensure the people's safety, which is the number one key agenda why they took over. People's safety, because people are being killed. Innocent lives are being lost every single day. And with the lies of the mainstream media too, they were completely taking over regions. So I believe this is actually a matter of not insecurity, but security, where they want to ensure the region is well protected in case they let go of any, of the power they have, if I'm really making sense. Also, something else I was learning and listening to a certain video, there was someone who's saying Ibrahim Traore, literally the Alliance Sahel state presidents need to be ready. Yeah, so sorry about that. Literally lost my train of thought while I was saying, got distracted a little bit. But yeah, I was saying there's a video I was listening to, and it was talking about how the Alliance Sahel presidents need to stay ready when it comes to the next leader who's going to take over, or they should have a know of the next leader who's going to come take over is going to continue with the same legacy of democracy, if it is really making sense, because it will be really bad, being honest, if the countries go back to the same civilian rule and go back to the same system where we're gonna be seeing France advancing back in the country and all those things happening. It will be really, really bad. So I do hope, even if years later to come, when they let go of the power, we're gonna have ready leaders who can take over and lead the country the right direction, like they are doing right now. But on the last video of the day, this is I'd say the joke of the day, the joke of the week. Been seeing so many jokes of the week. The last time kids shared with me, I think it was a video of, what was the video? There was a video I said that was super, super crazy to watch. The South Africans literally complaining about how people should not use their hospital. That was a big joke, because you use the same people you're talking about, because South Africa has the highest youth unemployment rate in the whole world. That is actually according to the new statistics released recently, a day ago. South Africa is facing a youth unemployment crisis, with 62%, which is a very big figure, of the young people are unable to find work. And this reflects deep-rooted challenges in the country's economy, such as slow growth, limited job creation, and lack of skills development for young people entering the market. And your president is there talking about how they need to be respected. You're not respected in your own country. Let's talk about that. You're not respected in your very own country. So what about that? People waiting for, I don't know, Keith, I can't get what you're asking. Do they have people waiting just in case? People waiting on, clarify that question kindly. Let me share this as we wind up.
And I went chemo and radiotherapy.
So this is a leader who was cancer diagnosed some time back, and he went to Europe for treatment, like they always do, right? He went to Europe for treatment, and then when he came back, he built a church. Not built a hospital for his people, he built a church for the people. This is how they want you more confused with religion, so that you can never question but stay in fear of religion. Listen to this.
A Ugandan politician is getting roasted because after getting cancer and treatment in Germany for 6 months, he built a church in Uganda, not a hospital. This is how he explains it.
In November 2022, I was diagnosed with cancer of the throat. And I underwent chemo and radiotherapy. And I stayed in Germany for 6 months. And I recovered.
And you see how uneducated they also are. I'm going to pause on that because they don't even understand chemotherapy, radiotherapy, all this nonsense to do with cancer treatment doesn't work. Okay? Because I've seen cancer so-called survivors who, after undergoing the same, of course, the same route, the same method, they end up still, the cancer still comes back. Like it still comes back and it's gonna kill you and finish you. But this guy, instead of trying to build a hospital that can actually bring back true African science, true African medicines, no, he decided, let me bring you white Jesus.
When I got up out of that nasty experience, I promised God and myself that I will build him a church in his honor.
A Ugandan politician.
Yeah, so he built a church, not a hospital. You're not even scared about next time, if in case the case is super worse, you won't have time to get to Europe. You'll need a proper medical healthcare system in your country, so it will be quick for you to get assistance. No, you need Jesus to pray so you can get assistance, right? This is so crazy. But that is the type of mediocrity of leadership we have. Talk about it. But anyway, we're coming to the end of today's conversation right here. That has been my time with you. I hope you guys have enjoyed. Everyone on Rumble, Beatrice on the radio. Today we're not on Rumble. Actually, something happened. I don't know what was up with Rumble, but we have the show on Beatrice, on Spreaker, Spotify, and of course, if you shall be catching this on the replay, I hope you also get to enjoy. It's funny, it's crazy, Keith, I tell you. But shout out to Emil as well, who's been with us in the building, and to the silent, amazing listeners behind the amazing screen. I hope you guys are doing great and have yourself a beautiful Friday morning. See you guys later on the other shows. Come back, your turn is coming with Let's Pop. See you guys later.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to the Pan-African Bliss Show with your host, none other than Joby. Andrew Robinson, enough respect.
It's Chocolate City. Yeah. Critical.
All right, I'm here. I was 14 ahead of me.